Hello everyone, this is PK Entertainment and we are back again, and we're going to talk now about The Walking Dead and the recent and very surprising announcement that the long-running horror comic book series will finally end after its 11th season. Now, there are a couple of specific details following this announcement, so we're going to talk about them in depth and then review on what exactly is going on, because on the initial glance some of it seems a bit overcomplicated and, to be honest, I think could be a bit more streamlined and simplified than what I think it actually is. But we're going to go over the few details now. So also just be warned as well that I may be talking spoilers as to currently what's going on within season 10. So if you haven't caught up with season 10, I probably would advise you to stop watching this video right now, go away, catch up with season 10 and then come back to this video. So let's go over and talk about some of the details. So the main points would be is that season 10, which originally was pending just the season finale, is now going to have an additional 6 episodes added on. So obviously now it won't be the season finale, we'll have another 7 episodes if we count that season finale of the 10th season. Now if we initially go back, season 10 was originally due to finish back in April, but due to the COVID-19 outbreak, the season 10 finale was delayed. It was due to air, I believe, back in September or October this year, and now it's told that we're going to delay even further. The main other point is that the 11th season will consist of 24 episodes, and this will be spread out over 2 years. It was also recently stated that there will be a spin-off series led with Daryl and Carol. This will also coincide with the upcoming new series, which we knew about for a while now, The Walking Dead World Beyond, which will concentrate on a new, younger generation dealing with the zombie apocalypse. The ongoing spin-off series Fear the Walking Dead will also continue into its 6th season. So let's talk about these main points on it. Now, as I mentioned, there will be spoilers. So currently when we talk about the 10th season, so we were left off in the final stages of the Whisperer War. Alpha had been killed and we were left now with Beta seemingly in control of the Whisperer Horde, and he was gathering together and we were getting ready for the final stand. Beta had gathered the Whisperers, they had infiltrated Alexandria and they were getting ready now to concede in the final battle. So that's what we assumed season 10 finale was going to be, and normally episode finale generally tends to be about 80 minutes or so. So we were going to get this spectacular battle, the Whisperers would get dispersed or seemingly defeated, and then we would push on with season 11 and go into the Commonwealth storyline. So now we're going to get 6 extra episodes, so I would assume that we're probably going to still get a resolution to the conflict of the Whisperer storyline within that episode, that 10th episode. I still believe that 10th finale episode will be 70 to 80 minutes, and then we will consider going forward with the extra 6 episodes delving more into the Commonwealth. That's what I think will take place. I can't see that we're going to really extend the Whisperer conflict for another 7 episodes, because I don't think there's really much more mileage we can go into it. I didn't agree with the fact that they killed off Alpha early on within the season. I still think the interesting contrast between Alpha and Beta, as well as Alpha's relationship with Lydia and Negan as well, I still think there was a lot more we could have milked out of that. So I didn't agree with the decision to kill Alpha. So I now think that Beta, he's not as interested in the character on his own. It would be more ideal if we just complete the Whisperer story within that 10th episode and then move on with the following 6. But interestingly enough, what will those 6 episodes be? What else are we going to really develop on within those 6 episodes? Now, there could be another mini story arc within those 6 episodes where we introduce another antagonist, another villain. We do know, of course, that Maggie was set to return, so obviously we get to see the further development of when she returns back. She'll see Negan still around and we'll get further development with that, of course. So they could build up of that. We may see further episodes of Michonne. We do know, of course, that she did leave. I think it was episode 12. I think that was the Michonne episode where she left. Maybe we get another Michonne centric episode We saw, of course, that she ventured out and joins those group of survivors walking away into the distance, so we could get a one-off episode concentrating on where she's heading into the future. I don't think we're going to concentrate more on Rick. We do know, of course, those proposed Rick Grimes television movies. We haven't heard any kind of headway on those, so I don't know where they're heading with that, if we still see those come to fruition. So it'll be very interesting to see what exactly going to do with these 6 additional episodes of season 10. Then we go forward to the 11th season. Now, as I mentioned before, we presume that this will concentrate on the Commonwealth story and the kind of New World Order story arc, which will then reach the conclusion of the overall story of The Walking Dead. Now, this is quite an extensive arc within the comics, and again, spoilers if you don't know what happened within the comic book storyline, but basically at the end, Rick is shot, and then I think there's another time jump forward where we essentially see Carl become the new leader, and overall the zombie apocalypse kind of dissipates, and the group of heroes or the survivors end up living a happy life in the future. And I think Carl has a couple of kids and ends up with a happy resolution. So I assume we'll get that similar conclusion for the season 11. At the current stage, of course, we all know that Rick is still alive, Michonne is still alive, so there's no reason why we can't have a happy reunion. And again, I assume we may get another time jump into the 11th season, and we'll see Judith become a lot older and a lot more experienced, and maybe assume some sort of leader-esque role within the main group as well. So that's the sort of narrative I think they're going to jump ahead with. So I just think 24 episodes. Now, I don't think in any way, shape or form we're going to get a continuous amount of 24 episodes. As we know now, the format of the show in general has always been, we've got a block of 8 episodes, so we have 8 and then we have a mid-season break and then we have another 8 after that. So I think what's going to happen here is that, yes, we will get another block of 8 episodes, right? Block of 8, break, another block of 8, 16, and then another 8 to make the 24. So that's what I think the format is, because remember they're stretching it out over 2 years, so there's no way we're going to get a full-on 24 continuous run of episodes. The Walking Dead just won't work like that. You know, we all know the strategy within network television is to kind of spread out and stretch out your programming, right? So you have a block of episodes, get people invested, carry on with the next block, and then you build up to the next block after that. So that's what I think will happen on here. So it'll be very interesting to see what they introduce on here. Will the entire 11th season be spent in the Commonwealth, or will we get another story arc in between that, and then we later on go on to the Commonwealth after that? So it'll be very interesting to see how they will play out. So also, I think the spin-off series between Daryl and Carol, now to be honest with you, I'm not sure why we're doing this. I know that Daryl and Carol are very well liked and very popular characters, but they're not characters that I think can carry their own show. I've always seen them more as supporting characters. Yes, of course, we know Daryl is the kind of new lead of the show now that Rick's gone, but he hasn't been the most prominent character, has he? We've had multiple episodes where we focus on other characters, whether it's a sequel or Carol herself. We focus on other members of the group as well. So Daryl isn't at the forefront, is he? It's very much of an ensemble show at this case and point, and I don't think Daryl has never been a strong enough character to carry the show on his own. Carol as well is another character who really, for the most part, wanders off on her own, does her own thing, for the most part alienates herself away from the group. So if you've got two solitary type of characters, a spin-off series featuring those type of characters, for me, I don't really see as a lot of mileage or a lot of appeal with those. So it'll be interesting to see, but I just can't see really how a Daryl and Carol spin-off is going to take off, as well as the additional series with the ongoing show. I don't really see how that's going to really work. So I was a bit confused by that announcement, to be honest with you. So we also push on now to the World Beyond series. Again, I don't mean to be overly negative, but I didn't really see much value in just pushing on with a newer, younger generation. I always thought the best way to do it was you have the younger group integrated first within the original show, where viewers can get to know these heroes and we can see them develop over a season or two within the original show. And then if you wanted to spin off into another series, then you can use that group to do so. But I think what would have been more better is that we got a transition, right? So of course we've had the long-standing characters of Daryl and Carol and Ezekiel and many others like that, Aaron as well. So what you would eventually happen is you would see these group, maybe if they die or leave the group, and then the younger generation then takes over. So you just keep it within the same continuity rather than having all these spin-offs where essentially it's going to be the same narrative beat, right? You're still going to have survivors carrying on against the zombie apocalypse. So I don't really see what spin-offs you can have in the future unless you're going to go with another narrative. So maybe we delve into, maybe you find a cure, or maybe we have a different zombie species. If you take on that narrative, then yes, a spin-off will have further value. But if you're going to spin off but essentially just have the same survivor group just getting chased by zombies and not have much of a variance of that narrative, then I don't really see the value of that. So it'll be interesting to see. We have already had the trailer for The World Beyond. You can see that on the internet. So I'm pretty sure in the next coming weeks and months we'll get further details disclosed about the ongoing series. Fear the Walking Dead continues with its 6th season. Again, I can't really speak out a lot about that. I carried on with that show until the early part of season 2, and then I really kind of lost interest. I didn't really find it was really heading anywhere. I do know the fact that the likes of Morgan and Dwight, who were from the original show, have transitioned over into that show, and I think now they've kind of caught up, or they've speeded up the timelines, because if you know, Fear the Walking Dead was a kind of a origin or a prologue series where we saw the inception of this zombie virus, and they were always playing catch up within the timelines. But I think now they've caught up a lot more. But again, if you want to comment any more about the Fear the Walking Dead, then feel free to do so, but I don't really have much more investment in that show. I'm just a bit confused as to really the kind of strategy that they're using on here. Was that the plan originally? Was that initially why the season 10 finale was delayed? Because they were planning on extending this 11th season and adding these 6 additional episodes, but they weren't quite together on how they were going to adopt the strategy. So maybe that's why they withheld those plans before announcing them later on, because I was always confused, as I mentioned, why the season 10 finale wasn't released, because they'd already done all the editing and the principal photography, and any other additional editing could have just been done from remote locations. So we never understood why the 10th season finale was delayed. And also, if you think about it, the fact that we're getting 6 additional episodes for season 10, then we're getting 24 episodes for season 11, why didn't you just make it close out with season 12, right? Because that's 30 episodes. So normally a season consists of 16. So you initially have your 16 episodes, another 14 to make the 12th season, right? So you have 16 for season 11, and then you have 14 for season 12. That's it, done, complete. I don't know why we have to have additional 6 for season 10 and then 24 for season 11. I don't know, it just seems a bit scattershot really, and just convoluted. Why not just simplify the process and just have 16 for season 11 and then another 14 for season 12, and then boom, done. Don't know why we have these spin-offs now. So I don't think now having all these spin-offs kind of is as warranted as what it was when it was really at the height of its popularity, when it was garnering around, I think, anything from 12 to 16 million viewers regularly within US television. So, you know, you have the spin-offs when the property's at its peak, not when it's kind of in its last or declining years. So I'm not really sure how long these spin-offs will last, if indeed we get them, because as we all know, we are in a pandemic right now, so it's kind of hard to gauge when productions are going to be filmed, right? So it's okay announcing that you're going to have all these future productions in play, but when will we actually get them filmed? That goes hand in hand with these proposed Rick Grimes movies. We haven't heard anything about Rick Grimes movies in terms of what they're doing with the concept, the story, the casting, the direction, the tone. We've heard nothing about these Rick Grimes movies. And remember, these are projects that were announced before the COVID-19, and we've heard nothing since. So I wouldn't get too overly hyped at this point about all these spin-offs. I think in general, let's just see what happens with season 10 and these additional 6 episodes. Well, when are these going to be filmed? That's another question. When are we going to be filming these episodes? Have we already started filming? There haven't been a lot of details disclosed at this point, right? When are you going to be able to start filming these 6 episodes? When are you going to be able to start filming this 11th season? I think they've recently announced that it's going to go on to 2022, so that's a long time away. So of course anything could happen, so it really is kind of up in the air at this point, so it's a bit difficult to really get immersed too much into the details. So they've announced a lot, so actually how much of this comes to fruition, we have to wait and see in the future. But really overall, I would say I expect the season 10 finale, of course, to happen. I expect the 6 additional episodes for season 10, and also of course the Walking Dead World Beyond. I think they've already filmed a lot of that because we've had trailers for that as well. So if I'm a guessing man at this point, I think we will see the additional 6 episodes for season 10 plus the finale. We will see the Walking Dead World Beyond series, and we will also carry on with Fear the Walking Dead 6th season. Anything after that, I wouldn't bet at the moment if we see that come to fruition. But a lot of plans can change in the future. We just have to wait and see for any further updates that come in the future. So those are my thoughts on the announcements regarding the Walking Dead series. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think it's the right time now for the series to come to the end? Do you think now we've kind of exhausted all the storylines and narratives that we can? Do you think it's a show that should have ended a couple of seasons ago, or do you think there is enough there to branch the series out for maybe season 12 and beyond? What do you think about the spin-off series regarding Daryl and Carol? Do you see any value in that, or do you think that's a bit of a bust and shouldn't really be created and written in the long run? What do you think about the World Beyond series? Again, do you see a lot of value in that, or do you think it's just going to repeat the same beats as the original show? Do you think the Fear the Walking Dead should end after its 6th season, or do you think that could carry on and maybe get to 10 seasons itself? So let me know what you think in the comments below. I will try and provide you more updates as we happen, but that's the overall summary of The Walking Dead coming to its end of its run after the 11th season. We do know, of course, that the comic book series ended on its 200th issue, I believe, a while back. So maybe they felt they couldn't really extend beyond that material. So that's it for now. My thoughts on the ending of The Walking Dead after an extended 11th season. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please hit those like and subscribe buttons and help me continue to grow this channel and provide more content for you. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, stay at safe distances, and I will see you very, very soon.